I know what you're thinking. You've landed on a channel called Top 10 VPN, and the video is titled How to Torrent Safely, so obviously this guy presenting it is going to recommend you use a VPN. Well, yeah, I am. But there's more to it than that. There's a multitude of steps you need to take on top of using a VPN. And I don't just recommend VPNs because it's my job. I do it because I am an internet user just like you, and I want you to be as safe and as private as possible. Downloading and sharing torrent files without knowing what you're doing or taking the proper precautions can be a huge risk to your anonymity and your broader online safety. By default, your IP address is left completely exposed for anyone to see. The torrent files you're hooking your computer up to can be packed with malware, and even the very torrent client you're using could be compromised. With the 5 steps we're about to go over together in this video, in plain, easy to understand English, might I add, you'll be protecting yourself comprehensively every time you start a download. We'll also take a look at a real-world example of the difference a good VPN makes while torrenting. For Top 10 VPN, I'm Callum. Let's get started. Step 1, and we'll start with the one we all knew was coming. Use a safe and efficient torrenting VPN. Let's break this down really quickly and simply to get the point across. Your IP address is your unique identifier on the internet. It belongs to your connection and yours alone. If someone were to see it and take note of it, they would essentially have a digital hotline straight to your devices. When you torrent, everyone else on that tracker, that is to say, everyone else either downloading or uploading the same torrent, can see your IP address. What would they do with it? I don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky. But theoretically, whatever they want. There's a ton of ways to screw someone over that start with learning their IP address. When you use a VPN, you hide your IP address. By connecting to a remote server, your own IP address is replaced with the IP address of that server. And, intelligent viewer that you are, you've probably put 2 and 2 together here to realize what that means. And by using a VPN while torrenting, your real IP address is hidden, and everyone else can only see the VPN IP address instead. That is why using a VPN is so important for torrenting. But it doesn't end there. Like anything else, VPNs vary in quality, and you want to make sure that you choose one that's as suited to torrenting as possible. How so? Well, you want one that gives you the fastest download speeds, you want one that has a strong logging policy and an upstanding reputation so that you can trust it with your data, you want one that has all the right extra features to make sure that your torrents are downloaded as quickly and securely as possible. In fact, you want to make sure that it even lets you torrent at all while it's running. Not every VPN does. Rather than go into the details here, we went and made a whole video dedicated to the 3 best VPNs for torrenting, as proven by our bespoke and unbiased testing methodology. Within it, we go over all the relevant pros and cons of each. Editor, let's pull up a preview and link right here. Equally importantly, by using a VPN when torrenting, your internet service provider can't see the files that you're downloading. As always, I am compelled here to say that piracy is of course very bad and likely illegal where you are, but you are entitled to privacy online. You don't have to be a pirate to demand that your ISP stop spying on your downloads. That's all the more reason to use a VPN. While personally, I choose to leave my VPN on 24/7, I can understand that's not for everyone. If you're someone who doesn't want to do that, then this next bit is incredibly important. Connect to a VPN server before you open up the torrent client. If you don't, your real IP address will leak, and all of this was for nothing. And similarly, don't turn off your VPN until you're certain that your torrent client is fully closed, not just minimized to the system tray or the menu bar, that it's completely stopped running. Step 2. Use a safe torrent client. The torrent client is the program or application that you use to actually download the torrent file. There's a surprisingly large number of them out there, and they actually vary quite a great deal. We've tested 6 of the most popular torrent clients and came to the conclusion that BitTorrent was the best one. A real relief for me on a personal note, as that's the one I'd been using for years prior to that test. I'll link to the full article below, but the key takeaways are that BitTorrent has a clean and minimal interface, is completely free to use, and it hasn't suffered any hacks or scandals. Popular rival torrent clients like uTorrent and BitTorrent, on the other hand, have pop-up ads and features paywalled behind a premium version, while Transmission has had hackers infect users. It's also important to configure your torrent client. Make sure it's kept fully up to date, configure any restrictions around bandwidth, and if you're super serious about it, even IP binding it with your VPN. That means that it won't even establish a connection if it isn't running through your VPN. Again, link on how to do this in the description below. Step 3. Only use safe torrent websites. I know you didn't want to hear that. It's boring. But as your most trusted online father figure, I have to put my foot down. The overwhelming majority of torrent sites are full of all kinds of dodgy links and honeypots and straight-up viruses. There are some things that a VPN can't protect you against. And that brings us neatly onto step 4. Only download torrents you trust. To further minimize the risk of downloading malware, spyware, or ransomware, be sensible about the torrents that you download. Some torrent sites have icons next to their most trusted uploaders, for example. You can also check the comments section on a torrent page to make sure there isn't anyone there complaining about being scammed. You should also apply some common sense when assessing the details of a torrent download. Is the music you downloaded a .exe file? Is the 4K film footage 200 kilobytes in size? Things like this are always dead giveaways that a torrent is not legitimate. Step 5. Install and use an antivirus program. Because sometimes, even if you think you've done everything correctly, things can still slip through the net. Keep your antivirus's real-time protection running at all times, specifically scan the files from any torrent that you download, and set up regular daily device scans to pick up anything in between. Now, while macOS and Windows both have very respectable built-in antivirus nowadays, in the Top 10 VPN office, we use Malwarebytes on top of that, if you were looking for a recommendation. It's all well and good laying all that information out there, but what I think might be a lot more effective is a demonstration. First, an example of torrenting with a proper VPN suitably set up. We'll use private internet access, our highest rated torrenting VPN. First, you make sure that the kill switch is activated in the settings menu. Then you connect to a VPN server. Anyone is fine, but remember that the closer it is to your real location, the faster your download will be. Only now do we open up the torrent client. We can do this by just double-clicking on the torrent file we're downloading. In this instance, it's a bespoke file only we have access to that we made for the purpose of testing torrenting VPNs. The download begins, and we can take a look at the peers. The peers is the torrenting term for everyone connected to that torrent. People uploading the file are commonly referred to as seeders, and people downloading the file as leechers. Ordinarily, you'd see a long list of different flags and IP addresses here, but given the special nature of our torrent file, you only see one: us. And we can see that it's been correctly replaced with the IP address that the VPN assigned us. That's what every other peer would be seeing too. But now, what if we use a VPN that leaks IP addresses while torrenting? Let's fire it up and take a look. And just like with PIA, we open the VPN, connect to a server, and open up our torrent file. Now, when we take a closer inspection, we can see that the worst case scenario has happened, and our real, genuine IP address is visible. We've blurred it here, but trust me. And as we said before, that also means that your ISP knows exactly what you've downloaded. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but if you are only going to use a VPN for one thing, it should be this. VPNs have a very real, tangible benefit to torrenters, and if you've been torrenting without one all this time, then hopefully this video has shown you why you should make the change. If you haven't checked it out already, then there's lots more useful information on our dedicated guide page, and feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. As always, please do like and subscribe if you've learned anything, it helps a great deal, and I'll see you in the next one.